Hello,
Hello.
episode 13.
I know, it still seems mental, that, doesn't it?
Yeah, you've just been taking the piss out of me because saying I can't speak today. And I'm a little bit high. Well, I thought I'd wait to tell you till we started recording. So that's why I can't speak. But I'm in a good mood, so I suppose that's a bonus, isn't it? So how have you been?
Been alright. Yeah.
Been loads to talk about this week, hasn't there?
Yeah, we've both been busy.
I've done my first full week in my new job, haven't I?
How's that gone?
I've really enjoyed it.
Mm.
Like, I really like the atmosphere in the office and stuff like. Well, not in the office, but amongst the team of people.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're only in the office once a week.
I'm not even in once a week. It's just sort of sometimes. Most of the time, I'll be at home.
Yeah.
And I'll be going in a bit more at the minute because I'm new.
Mm.
But yeah, I've enjoyed it. I was knackered, like, from taking loads of information in. You know, because like the first couple of weeks when you're getting used to
It's quite
stuff.
a lot, isn't it, to take in?
So I was shattered on Friday. Like, I'm still quite tired now.
It was your first full week in work, whereas when you started to do it, was like, you what? It wasn't even a week, was it? It was
No,
just
I just
like
did
a couple
2
of
days, didn't I? Yeah. Yeah, and I've done my first healthy week. Can't believe we've just done that. Already, where are we? A minute and a half in and I've done something stupid. Honest to God. Oh, another thing I haven't even mentioned yet. What were we talking about? My health update. You need to remember that. Sorry, welcome to the show, everyone. I keep forgetting, like, to do admin things. Welcome to Sibling Rivalry. As we said, it's episode 13 now, which is mental. We had quite a lot more viewers on last week's episode.
Yeah, we did.
So thanks for checking us out and sticking with us if you have. So I've done the admin bit now. What were we talking about?
Your health update.
Health update. So this is probably a mad episode for people to see first, isn't it? Just me having a breakdown on the other side of you. No, it's been going all right, you know. I've had beer a couple of times, which is what's let me down.
Yeah.
But like food-wise, I've done really
Pretty well.
Yeah. I've started having like smoothies again and stuff, and having that rice with the black meat for lunch. So I'm like managing my calorie intake with the food well, and I'm eating healthier food than I was. But then, like, I've just got drunk a couple of times, which doesn't obviously help. But other than that,
life's good.
Couple of slip-ups, but not too bad. My knee's starting to get slightly better. I've got to start running like every other day on it now, so I'm going to have to do a run later, which is fun. But, you know, it's moving forward, which is...
Yeah, at least your knee's getting better now.
Yeah. You were out as well, weren't you, this week?
Yeah, I was out with my friends this week.
What day was that?
Well, I went out 2 days a week this week, didn't I? Which was
Was Tuesday first?
I think so, yeah. And I was out on the Friday as well.
Tuesday rings a bell, but I don't know if that was because I was in the office on Tuesday.
I'm not sure. I think it might have been Wednesday, actually.
Maybe. It doesn't matter at all for the story. It's just me being stoned. He was like, oh, okay. Carry on.
Anyway, I was out on the Friday and I went to Caldy Beach.
Yeah.
That was really nice.
Yeah, it is nice there, isn't it?
Well, it was actually with new friends that I'd met, through my boyfriend. Well, we haven't actually made it official yet, but I'm just going to go with that.
Oh, let's hope he doesn't watch JL.
Oh, God, he doesn't. He doesn't anyway. Anyway, yeah.
Be a weird way for him to find out, wouldn't it?
I met up with his friends, and that was actually really nice as well. We went to Caldy Beach, like I said, and...
It was a bit crap, the weather, though, wasn't it?
Well, it was warm, and I decided to wear jeans.
Smart.
But I was like, it's better than getting sunburnt legs, isn't it, to be honest?
Yeah, I guess so. But
I was absolutely boiling.
You do get burns as well, don't you, to be fair? Like.
Yeah, I haven't done that bad, I don't think.
Where did you go when you went out with your mates? New Brighton?
Yeah, New Brighton. Yeah, but the weather was crap because it was absolutely
was that when you got
around.
rained out?
Yeah.
That was it, wasn't it? It was that way around.
Yeah.
If your mates was rainy, his mates was too hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, good choice of clothing then.
God, I was absolutely sweating.
Was you? We've been watching a fair bit of tennis, haven't we, this week?
Oh, God.
Well,
you and Mum have, I haven't.
I quite like it. So, because Andy Murray was playing, and obviously he's old, and it's like probably his last chance. to win it.
Mm.
That was that harsh. Did that sound
A
harsh?
little bit.
He's an older player though, like he's 36 and he's had loads of injuries. So quite good. And then the more I was watching it, the more I was like, this is a proper like Tory sport though, isn't it? Because how many kids do you know anyone that plays tennis? Like at a club?
Next to none, probably.
Exactly, like a handful of people maybe ever that you've met.
Yeah.
Because they're dead expensive, so it's all the Tory kids that do
Yeah.
it. And then, so I was getting annoyed with myself, like, why am I watching this when it's all just fucking Tories that play it? And then I was watching, like, started picking at the games, you know, because I was, like, fired up.
Yeah, you did.
You know what I get like when I'm fired up.
Yeah.
And it's like watching the linesmen on it. They're all, like, crouched over, aren't they? Like, it looks proper uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And, like, all their job is for the whole game is to just stare at a line. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like, if they lose concentration for a second, the player can call, like, a challenge. And then they can get shown that they're wrong, and 15,000 people will see that they're wrong because they'll put it on a fucking screen. Like, well, if you've got that screen anyway, why are you making these poor fellas fucking crouch over and stare at these lines every now and again to just go, ow? Like, why are you going to get the technology to do it for you? Oh no, we'll just pay poor people to lean over, get dead uncomfortable, and then we'll embarrass them if they get things wrong with the fucking thing on the screen. So I've been enjoying it, and then I got dead angry at it like a little Tory rant.
Yeah.
So now I'm not really sure how I feel, to be honest. I think I've like wound myself up into disliking it. So, yeah. Anyway, what were we talking about? What were we talking about?
Wimbledon.
Oh, yeah, let's move on. Let's not talk about Wimbledon anymore. This is obviously a touchy subject for me. So the other night, I asked to think of, because we were listening to music in the kitchen, where we all like playing that game. Well, say game. It's because our Ben called it a game, and it's not. It's just a thing that
He
you
always
do
does that.
when you listen to music, where everyone just picks a song and we go around, and whatever you want to put on, it's your song.
Yeah, we just like go around.
And then we were talking about Ben and Maddie sending that video to Mum, because Ben was saying like that song reminds him of Mum. So I had the idea of us both thinking of a song that reminds us of Mum, just for something, to do something wholesome on the podcast for once, instead of just talking about poo and me shouting about stuff. Thought we'd do a nice little wholesome bit.
Yeah.
Cater to the masses. Did you think of a song?
Yeah, I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
I'll let you go first.
So I chose American Pie.
Bye. I'm not.
Bye.
Why am I singing on the podcast? We might cut that out, so it might just skip a couple of seconds there. But what song did you pick, Ellie, and why?
Well, I chose American Pie because it reminds me of Mum so much, because like when she's like cleaning and stuff,
it always comes on in like the rotation. It's nice. That's a nice reason. I don't know the meaning behind that song. So
Neither do I.
I don't know it well
I think
enough.
it's quite dark. Actually,
yeah, I don't know. So maybe we don't look into it.
Yeah,
and we just accept it. We just accept it as a sweet moment.
But yeah, it just always reminded me like of Mum every time it came on, and like she'd be cleaning and like like doing stuff in the kitchen or doing stuff in the
Yeah. So mine's a bit of a weird one, but and it's a weird reason for me to pick it, and it's going to sound like I'm having a go at it, but I'm not. It's just what pops into my head when.
But will I know this one?
Yeah, it's Dance Dance by Fall Out Boy.
Oh yeah.
So it's loud, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So obviously,
I was going to pick that one, and then I was like, no, I'll pick a different one just in case you choose.
So the reason I picked it is because I think we've talked about it on here before, but I was a big Fall Out Boy fan, wasn't I? Well, I say was, I still am, really. I just hide it a bit more now.
You do play the odd one.
Because I'm 31. I'm not bothered about hiding it from you, but to like the general public. But so like I was really into them, and then Mum got into them from me listening to them loads. So like sometimes when we do that song thing, she picks them songs because she's like, oh, it's Tommy who got me into these, so he'll. But she used to always play Dance Dance, right? Like all the time.
Yeah.
It wasn't that. It was This Ain't a Scene. So it was a different Fall Out Boy song. But the story is the same. The whole rest of the scenario is the same. Apart from she used to play This Ain't a Scene all the time. Do you know that one?
Yeah.
And I used to, I didn't like that song that much. You know, out of all the Fall Out Boy songs.
Yeah, you used to really get annoyed. Well, you didn't get annoyed, I suppose, but you didn't like it that much.
No, it wasn't. I didn't get annoyed about it or anything. It was just it wasn't for me, that one. And it seemed to be like on the telly all the time when the music channels were on. This is how old I am.
Well, the music channels were on because of Ben.
And then like Mum would play it all the time when we were doing that song thing, and she was doing it for a sweet reason. But I was like, I've definitely mentioned that I don't like this song before. You know, like every other, not every time. Sometimes it didn't bother me that much, but then so it was like the third time in like a 6 or 7 week period. I'd be like, I've definitely told her this isn't my favourite one. And I was like, it's really nice that she's picking Fall Out Boy songs for like something for us to bond with, you know what I mean? But I was like, I don't like this one.
But you put up with it anyway.
Yeah, of course. I'm not going to tell her to. Like, I'm sure I've mentioned it. So, like, not even at the time when she plays it, because that'd hurt. But like, I'm sure we've been having a conversation sometime about just like music, and I've meant to go like, hey, Mum, just so you're aware, I don't like that song that much, and you seem to pick it quite a lot. And I know you do it for a sweet reason, but can you please pick a different one? I'm sure I've done it, like, worded it politely as well.
Yeah.
But I don't know, because she kept there, So.
Well, you know what we're like.
No, but it's, I don't know if it's me imagining I've told her, or forgetting I've told her. But I feel like, if we're honest, it's more likely that she's forgot I've told her, isn't it?
Most likely.
Do you know what I mean? Oh. Right, should we have a little break? Because I feel like that was quite fast for 10 or 12 minutes there, wasn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
And then we've got loads of funny stories this week, actually, haven't we?
Yeah.
Might put a few more in the notes. Or maybe not. I don't know. We'll see when we come back. Anyway, we'll have a break. See you in a minute.
See you.
Welcome back.
Hi, welcome back.
Yeah, I made myself a coffee during the break, because anyone who...
I know, I can smell it from here.
Anyone who knows or does edibles knows that coffee sobers you up a bit, so... Need to make up for that very short first section, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
I also wanted to make a coffee in the comfort of my own home after my fiasco this morning.
Oh yeah. Oh.
So our Ben's on holiday, isn't he? So we're every other day going to just like move his post and stuff, check everything's all right in the house. So we had the brilliant idea today of walking the dog down and back, didn't we?
Yeah.
Thought it'd be nice for us all to get out. So I thought we'll walk it down and then we'll let her have a drink and we'll chill for like 10-20 minutes and then we'll walk back up. And then when we get there, I thought, I'll have a coffee while we're here. And he's got a machine, like I've got a machine for pods, but his is a bit fancier and different to mine.
Yeah, because he's bougie that way, isn't
he? Yeah. So it's slightly different. So I'm not really sure how to use it. I've done it before though. I've used it before and I've used it fine. But today I put a pod in, and then it was dead hard to close, so that was weird. Because I had to like really force the thing shut. And then like I was watching the stuff pour out, and it was like murky and horrible. And there was water like coming around the machine as well. Also, I haven't told our Ben this yet, so hopefully he hears about it. Hopefully I remember to text him before this goes out.
Fingers crossed.
But if not, sorry Ben. I did clean it and everything though, and like washed it through and made sure the coffee was running through fine, and I've dried everything up and wiped everything up. But yeah, I didn't put the pot in properly, I don't think, and then so when I've shut it, it just burst, and it was all the powder was just coming through. Like I say, I've cleaned it, and I think I cleaned it properly because I had the coffee out for afterwards and it was fine. I also did use 2 coffee pods though because I broke one of them. So yeah, I'm sorry Ben if you watch this, and if you don't, hopefully I remember to text you about it at some point. So we're gonna start this section again this week with funny flashbacks. So I've picked yours for you this week, but it's something that we did talk about because it came up, and I think you already know what it is, don't you? So do you want to tell the story from your perspective, and then I'll tell them what actually happened?
Yeah, I can't remember how old I was.
We lived here, so you were at least 8, but I think you were probably 8.
Yeah, probably. No, was it? Yeah. Right,
8
no.
or 9.
I was 9, I think.
But you're still young.
Yeah, so I don't remember this at all, by the way, until you and Mum were talking about it.
Yeah, well, so do you want to explain how it came about as well? And then you can tell the story from your angle.
So our cousin had made...
No. What was this question you got asked?
Oh God, I can't remember.
It was on that app, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, so I got asked the question, what's the worst thing you've ever done to Tom? You know, with the anonymous things you can do,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then you put them on Twitter or something.
So you asked Mum, didn't you? Because you
Yeah.
weren't sure, and then Mum told you the story.
Yeah. So I was about 9, I think, and our cousin had made these cakes for Independence Day.
No, it wasn't. It was for
Remembrance Day.
Remembrance Day.
Independence Day. That's
American, yeah.
Yeah. So she made them for Remembrance Day.
So what were they?
They were like
little cupcakes, weren't they?
And they had like poppies on with ice, made
Very
of icing.
important part of the story, though.
So me, Mum, and Bennett had ours, and yours was still.
Mine was in the box for when I got home because I worked in the pub at the time.
Yeah, because you were in work.
And I was on mad hours because I worked in the spoon, so it was just.
Yeah.
I either was getting in at stupid o'clock in the morning or getting up at stupid o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, so my cake. No. In fact, it's better if I take over here.
Yeah, probably.
So I get back from work. Mum sent me a picture of these cakes in the text. So I'm like, oh, these look nice. And the poppy's made out of that like thick icing, and it's quite like tasty.
Like fondant.
Yeah,
icing.
so I was really looking forward to it. Especially because my mum had like paid for them to go to money for like Remembrance Day and stuff as well. So I was like, oh, nice little charity cake. I'll have that when I get in. Looking forward to it. I've had a horrible day in spoons on my feet all day. And then I walk into the kitchen, and Mum goes to me, your cake's in the corner. But our Ellie's at the poppy off it. So the bit that I'd been looking forward to eating loads, you'd already taken off it and eaten. And when we confronted you about it, you just said, oh, I didn't know, I didn't realise. But when I got back, Mum had already noticed and told you off. So by the time I got back, she wasn't wound up about it anymore.
And you were.
And obviously I've just got back from work and I'm knackered and I've been like genuinely looking forward to having this cake. So I get in and I have the dream snatched away from me straight away. So I have to eat this cake without the poppy on. So some of it hasn't even got icing on because you've took the poppy off, so it's just cake underneath. and like I say, my mum was over it by this point, so I was ranting, like, she can't do that, she knows better than that, she's old enough to know you don't just fucking eat the poppy off someone else's cake. As if that's a rule in life, do you know what I mean? Never eat the poppy off someone else's cake. I'm like, she's old enough to know that, and I'm fuming because she's already dealt with it. It's hilarious to her. So she's crying her eyes out, and I'm having this big rant about it. Can't believe you didn't remember it. And when Mum brought it up the other day, I was straight away, I was like, oh, it was an absolute joke, wasn't I?
Yeah, you wanted to kill me.
Yeah, honestly, I thought I was going to strangle you at the time. I had to not talk to you for a bit because I was that angry about it. But it was just because I was tired. It was more like I was exhausted from work, and then I've been looking for. So I built it up in my head, and then you hadn't done that on Dreadful, but it was snide, and I was absolutely fucking furious with you, honestly.
Did I at least apologise for that?
Yeah, but do you not remember when you were younger? Whenever we used to tell you off, you used to just get angry and cry, and then it'd take you a while to say sorry. So you've got all upset, like, oh, didn't know, I didn't realise what I was doing, and we were like, well, you obviously did, you're not fucking stupid. And then because we've told you we know you were lying, trying to get out of it, basically. You'd just be like, yeah, and then you'd be like rubbish for a bit. And then 2 days later, you'd be like, I'm really sorry. So that was how you learned that way.
Yeah.
So I just thought the only way for me to deal with it at the time was to just not talk to you for a bit. Because I thought I'm going to shout at you and then you're just going to pretend you haven't done it. And then, do you know what I mean? You were 9 or 10 now. You were a kid. That's how kids behave. Do you know what I mean?
At least I'm not like that now.
No, they're just you're just confrontational when you're a kid. I was worse than anyone, and I'm not having a go at you for it. I was a much worse kid than you were. But it was funny. Obviously now looking back, it's hilarious.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, that was funny because I didn't. Mum showed me the question first before she told me.
Yeah.
And she thought I'd think of that straight away. So I come in and she goes, "Oh, you'll like this question Ellie's been asked," and showed me. And I was like, "I'm guessing you've got an answer for this because you've showed me." And she went, "Yeah." And I just went, "Oh, well, I've got nothing to it." And she told me that, and I'd went from not really having a clue what she was talking about to being like, "That was the angriest I've ever been." Yeah, so that just came up in conversation anyway this week, didn't it? So I thought that was a good one. You might as well use it while it was in our heads.
Yeah.
I was so angry, Al. I was so angry.
Haven't you got one now?
Yeah, so I broke my arm a couple of times when I was a kid. First time I was in playgroup, so I don't really remember that one. All I remember is being in hospital. Broke the same arm both times, left arm.
Oh.
You know. So the only thing I really remember about the first time I went in was like being in hospital on my birthday and them giving me this little teddy. That's like it, because I was 2.
Yeah.
But then the second time I broke, I was like 7. And it was quite a bad break. So there was like, I think there might have been 2 breaks and a dislocation. So I was in a cast for a while, and the cast had like pins in my arm to hold my bone in place. So it was bad. So I got out of hospital, and obviously the next day I'm not in school. So Mum was going round to John's for a cuppa, and she took me. Oh no, maybe it was the weekend actually, because there was other kids off. So it must have been a Saturday.
Yeah.
We've gone round to John's for a cuppa, and obviously we were mates with Danny and that as well. And then we just go out with them. You know what I mean? They won't see us for a couple of hours, but they'll get to have a brew and a chat, and they're not bothered, and we'll be back. So about, I don't know how long it was, but say they've been sitting there chatting for half an hour or so. Past the window, you just see this whoomph, and Joanne's like, "Les, your Tom's on rollerblades." And Mum's like, "Yeah, he's all right. He's quite good." I'm like, "Oh my God!" Because I just got out of hospital and my cast was still on. I'd literally broke my arm like a couple of days before maybe. So I was literally like, I'm going down the road flying on these rollerblades, and I've still got the cast on. I'm like not even close to getting the cast off yet. I'm like just going, "Oh yeah, I'll go on rollerblades, fly down a road." So do you know where they used to live? Do you know what road it is? You know when we walk up with the dog sometimes and you go past Woodlands Park?
Yeah.
And then if you carry on up that road, it's steep, innit?
Yeah, it is.
And I was just bombing down that arm in a cast.
Oh my God.
So my mum's obviously like, "God, he's quite good on." Ah! Like, what the hell? And then
yeah, she's flapping.
Yeah. Oh God, nearly knocked it over. And then so that happened. That was like a couple of days after I'd broke it. And then I can't remember how long I had the cast on for, but it was a while because I had pins in my arm as well. But it all got sorted anyway, and I get my cast off. So in my eyes, I'm like back. You know what I mean? I'm healed now. Everything's fine. So I went out on my bike. There's a pattern here, isn't there? Of me just being like, "Yeah, it'll be alright," and just doing stuff.
Danger magnet.
Yeah. And it was actually just off the road there that we used to live on. And then I was crossing the road and like just going up the curb to ride up the road. But I found like the thickest part of the curb, and there's a bit of a drop, so the curb's probably like that thick.
Jeez.
And my front wheel just caught it, and the bike went, and I fell and I landed on this arm that I just had the cast taken off, and it was all like scratched up and like cut, and like I was all right. It was just cuts and scratches, but it humbled me. I learned my lesson. Like I wasn't bombing on any rollerblades after any injuries after that. So that was it's quite funny just because of the vision of me flying past on rollerblades with my arm in a cast at like 7 years old. But yeah, I definitely got humbled.
It sounds like it.
We thought of a couple as well that we're going to throw Ben under the bus. So Well, they're not bad stories about Ben,
They're
to be
funny.
fair. They're just everyone has them stories you remember from when you were younger. That like you've
Yeah.
got the highlights in your head, haven't you?
Well, they're funny now, especially because like
Yeah,
we're...
but you know, everyone's got like 7 or 8 of them stories
Yeah.
when they were younger. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And these are just a couple that I thought of with Ben when we were talking about it. So talking about rollerblades, me and him used to just go out on our rollerblades sometimes together. And on Raffles, if you come out the back of them houses, there's a field, and then it's like a little wall on the other side of it. So we were just sitting on that wall. I don't know why we were there on our rollerblades, because it's grass and gravel. So what were we rollerblading? But we ended up on this wall, sitting next to each other, rollerblades on, just sitting having a chat. Can't even remember what we were talking about. It's probably something stupid. And I'm not even looking at him. We were kind of just both doing that with our legs and looking at our skates. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This wall is quite shallow, so there wasn't. You were like, your legs were quite close to your body. Do you know what I mean? Because so you weren't like sitting high. You were sitting quite shallow. So doing that, I like turn around. Oh, Ben's not there anymore. So I'm like, where the fucking hell, Ben? Where's he gone? Help! The fuck? So we were sitting on this wall and it dropped down into an entry below it.
Yeah.
Oh, Ben's gone. He's been swinging his legs. And he's obviously swung too hard and lost his balance because we were really low to the floor.
Yeah.
And he's just fell back. But he fell into like shitloads of bricks and stuff. And it weren't like, it was quite a drop. And I don't know how, but he was fine. Like, he was a bit shaken up. Obviously, he fell off a wall into bricks. Into an entry full of bricks.
And nettles.
No, that was a different story.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, somehow we got him back and he was alright.
He hadn't broken anything.
He hadn't broke, but he was a bit, we had to like check he wasn't concussed and stuff. But somehow he was absolutely fine, yeah.
Just a bruised back.
Yeah, but I've just turned round and it's just gone. So we were just sitting on the wall and looking in that way and like I've gone, yeah, I know what you mean, yeah, would have Ben. And he's like that below me and no fucking bricks at the bottom. Help! How?
How old were you at the time?
Oh, I don't know. We were young, like we were still in Raffles, so we must have been, I don't know, 8 or 9 maybe. We were quite young. You weren't born yet.
Yeah.
So that was one of the ones that popped into my head just talking about rollerblading.
Yeah.
And then the reason you said nettles then is because when I first thought of that story in my head, he didn't get hurt in the bricks, but he did get stung by nettles. But Mum said this was a different story altogether.
Oh, I thought it was the same story.
No.
That's why I mentioned
So this time, there's this image I've got of him from when we were kids. He's got carrier bags on either hand. And he's like playing out still. You know what I mean? So he's like in the street, probably still trying to play footy or whatever. He's got carrier bags on both hands. So I've just had this image of it, and that came from. So how that happened was, this is when he got stung by the nettle. So they were playing footy, and the ball's gone into like the bush or something, and the bush is full of nettles. And he's proper dug his hand in to get the ball out, and then dug his other one in. He ended up with nettle stings and like thorns and everything in both hands.
Oh my god.
So we were sitting on. I remembered how it happened after I remembered the image of him with the bags. We were sitting down on the couch and Mum's having to rub all this like antiseptic cream all over his hands because he's covered in all sorts of shit. He's also got like little thorns in his fingers and stuff.
God.
So she's covered his hands in antiseptic, tied carrier bags and sellotaped them round him so that it draws the thorns out apparently. And rather than like not playing for a bit, he just was like, I'll play like this. Comes out with the carrier bags on his hands and carries on playing footy. Like what? Like, you've got bags. Are you aware that you've got bags on your hands?
And you look like a complete idiot.
Yeah, like, do you know what's going on here?
How old were you then?
Oh, I don't know. That could have been 5 or 6. That was very young. And he was a bit of a it's hard to imagine now. But he was a bit of a head case, our Ben.
What, when he was younger?
Yeah, he was quite like brazen and got himself into a few scrapes and stuff. which is mental.
Like a daredevil-y type.
Like, yeah. Which is weird when you think about him now, isn't it?
Definitely, because he thinks he's quirky.
He's quirky,
Oh,
he's
I've
cool.
just done something stupid.
It's alright, I copied it, so. I didn't do it like full on like you did, but I did a little side one. Oh my god. Every week this happens.
Oh, it's every single episode.
Anyway, so they were a couple of funny ones about Ben.
Yeah.
And then there was another, this isn't a funny flashback, I suppose, because they're only at him this week. But, so this was from that other night when I asked you about the songs for Mum as well.
Yeah.
And I can't even remember how we were having the conversation. But I think I was like joking because I was up a bit later than normal.
Yeah.
And like, I was like, this is a proper late night for us. It was like 9:30 or something, wasn't it? It wasn't like, so it was still early, wasn't it? And then Mum said something and I was like, rock and roll, dude. I did like a fucking
You did.
little silly impression, didn't I?
And I said he sounded like the high turtle from Finding Nemo.
150, still young, that
Yeah.
guy. And you called it so well because the way it did it was exactly like he speaks.
It literally, it just sounded
So,
the same.
The pair of us were cracking up laughing at that, weren't we? Because it was proper perfect.
It just sounded exactly the same. So
And we'd already been chuckling and stuff. We were already in quite a giggly mood because Tom Segura, a comedian I like, brought his new special out this week, didn't he? No, I don't expect you to know that, obviously.
Wait, you think you showed me, Mum?
Well, that's what, yeah. So obviously there was a bit of it at the end where he talks about his mum having edibles. And obviously I'm going to have to say she's had one for the story to work, and she has.
Yeah.
But I don't know if she's happy with that being out there or not, but it is out there now. So I was like, oh, and I was watching it, it was like really funny, and Mum's seen a few clips of Tom Segura and his mum as well, because there's like this famous video where his mum does this hefty fart that goes on for like 20 seconds, and he's just pissing himself laughing in the background. So I showed that. I might have showed you it as well.
I think
I'm sure
you did.
So Mum like knew who he was from like that, and then I've showed her a couple of clips from podcasts he's done. So I was like, she'll like this bit of the story because it's like relatable, and she knows who he is, so she'll probably give it a go. So we were all watching that, weren't we? And it was cracking us up. So that was a really nice moment for me as well, to like
see, I was laughing at,
like kind of bringing you into my world a little bit. Yeah. Obviously, like, because for me, I was like dead excited that day for the special to come out, and it was like as soon as, because I was in the office on Tuesday as well.
Oh yeah.
So I was like waiting to get home and have my tea and get comfy so I could watch it, and then like to be for that night to have a bit to show yous, and yous to be laughing as much as like I was enjoying it was dead nice for me. That was just a little sweet thing I thought I'd bring up. I've left the would you rathers on WhatsApp because I thought it'd just be easier to do it rather than copying and pasting them all. But oh yeah, so funny flashbacks is something we're both quite enjoying, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, if you've got a better name for it than that, please send it in, because I'm not married to that name. It's just, it needs something. Send them in, siblingrivalpodcast@gmail.com, at siblingrivalpod on Twitter and Instagram if you want to message on there instead. But yeah, any of them that you've got like funny stories that stand out from sort of when you were younger and stuff, send them in, because it's quite fun to look back and have a laugh about it, isn't it?
Excuse me, they help us a lot as well.
Yeah. So we've got some would you rathers that you've picked out this week, haven't you? So that's why I'm reading them off WhatsApp instead. So I've not really seen these ones, which is weird because I'm asking you, but you've picked them. Would you rather always have bad gas or always have a really dry mouth? It's Stanley. What? Do you know what I was trying to say? That's about standard for you. Bad gas. Stanley. It's not even close. Oh my god, I hate myself so much sometimes. Why am I the way I am? Fucking hell.
I was like, who the hell?
Oh, anyway, the question. Fuck's sake. Oh, we're stopping doing this pod, you know. I embarrass myself too much.
So do I.
Would you rather always have bad gas or always have a really dry mouth? So, classic Ellie, I would say, for that first would you rather that she's picked. Fart-related humour, let's do it. Am I answering first? Am I right?
You answer first.
I mean, having a dry mouth is horrible.
Yeah.
Having a really dry mouth is genuinely one of the worst things in the world. Like, if you wake up with a hangover and your first swallow makes you, like, want to vomit, you get, like, a gag reflex from it. So that can't be my mouth all the time.
No.
And, like, I haven't got good gas now. Do you know what I mean?
Do I?
I've not got really good gas, have I? So I'm not trading really good gas for really bad gas. I'm probably just, adding to an already existing problem if I go with really bad gas. Rather than just bad gas, I'm just adding really to it. That's all I'm doing. So I'm definitely choosing that one.
I'm gonna have to go with bad gas as well. Because I'm just as bad.
Oh no. I don't know if I could do you with worse gas though. I don't know. I don't think I could. You're already pierced the air. I was upstairs the other day working, my bedroom door was shut. You burped down here, and I heard it. You with really bad gas is a problem. But I will let you have it, because having a really dry mouth all the time would be awful.
No.
Say, I'm a good guy, I'd be willing to put up with your really bad gas so you didn't have to have a dry mouth.
Mums.
Nope, let's not do it. Let's absolutely not do that. I think I've had enough digs at mum for one day. We'll move on.
Right, what's the next one?
Would you rather be physically stronger than most people or be able to fly? So, I'm probably going to surprise you a little bit with that one. One of my favourite things to do would be able to learn to fly.
Really?
Like, imagine you could fly as a human. I don't mean like fly a plane or a fucking helicopter. I mean just like teach myself to fly with my already existing body.
Yeah.
Not that that'd ever happen, but it's like, you dream about like being able to fly and stuff when you're a kid, don't you? So I would love to do that. But in terms of how useful something is,
That's good.
being physically stronger than most people is dead fucking useful in your life. Like,
yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
So I feel like I'd choose that because, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd use it to impress people. That was the first thing I thought of. I'd be like, look how much heavy shit I can lift. 100%.
No, but imagine if you get yourself in a dangerous situation as well. Like,
Well,
you'd
it's
be
more
able
applies
to...
for women, doesn't it?
Yeah. That's why
Not
I'd choose.
that was such a generalisation, but I understand that women have more fear walking around in the streets than men do, is what I'm
Especially alone at night.
That's what I mean.
That's why I'd want to choose being physically stronger than anyone else.
Because you could just be like, bang, get away. Yeah, definitely. I can understand that 100%. But for me, my first thought was because I'm a fella, I was like, I'll be able to be in the gym being like, look how much heavy shit I can lift. Do you know what I mean? And that'd be impressive. But then you do think about stuff like, obviously I'm only little. I'm 5'5", I'm a small lad. So there are a fair amount of situations where I'm like, fucking hell, if it goes off here, I'm in trouble. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Most of these people could just fucking pick me up and just throw me into a wall. So to be like physically strong, I'd feel better in those situations. So you'd feel like more self-confidence as well, wouldn't you?
I feel like if I was physically stronger than anyone else, though, I'd feel like more like I feel safer and secure knowing that I could easily.
But you
get
could
myself...
just fly out of dodgy situations as well if you could fly.
I'm scared of heights, aren't I? So
that is a point. So because of like my ego and me trying to be macho, even though like it does have its uses, and I think that is why I'm picking it. My first thought with it was egotistical and macho, but I'm choosing physically stronger, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna go physically stronger as well, but just because like I'd feel safer in the streets as well.
Definitely.
You know, because I'm a girl, obviously. But
good, we done?
Yeah.
Next one. Would you rather spend a week in the forest or a night in a real haunted house? I'm spending a week in a forest, mate. 100%.
I'd be absolutely terrified of staying in a real haunted house. So
Saying
I'm gonna
that
have to...
a week in the forest is a long time. And if you're in the forest in the middle of the night and it's just you,
No,
that's quite
I
scary.
feel like that's even worse.
That is quite bad, isn't it? Because you might, I don't know, I'd assume you can have, I don't know, actually, if you're spending the night in the forest, I'm assuming you haven't got like your phone and that.
I don't think you would, no.
So would you rather battle through like 7 nights of fear or 1 night?
I'd go with 1 night actually, so I think I'd rather go with the haunted house.
But I also like imagine, so in my head, I don't believe in ghosts. So in my head, in that situation, not only am I finding out ghosts are real and then having to deal with it, and is that like more damaging? Finding out that something's real that you didn't believe in and then being terrified of it. Psychologically, what does that do? I mean, I'm already fucked up, pretty fucked up psychologically.
Oh, that'll take a lot on your mental health.
I don't think, honestly, it would add that much more to my already jigsaw brain, though. I think it'd be fine.
Imagine me, though.
Oh, you'd be a mess. But do you believe in ghosts?
No.
No?
No.
So, would I rather spend the week in a forest? Because my first thought was, do I fuck want to see a ghost?
Oh, God, I picked a really tough one here,
But then 7 nights of the forest, like hearing all the animals and shit walking around you, I would be shitting my pants.
I'd be absolutely terrified.
Same. I don't think I'd sleep in either scenario.
No.
And in the haunted house one, at least you just 1 night. I'm assuming you live through both of these experiences as well.
Yeah, because it's just 1 night and not a week.
I'm doing the haunted house. Saying that.
I'm gonna have to go with the haunted house as well because I'd rather spend 1 night instead of like 7 nights. And
that was a good one though. That was tough. That.
If...
They're both horrible, but I think I'd go with 1 night of real.
Because it's just over.
I'd be more scared in the haunted house than I would be in the forest. But you've only got to do it for 1 night.
Yeah, no, it's over with, isn't it?
So I'm going with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the haunted house as well.
Would you rather you're the only person able to talk to your dog and your dog can understand you, or your dog can talk to you, but everyone else thinks you're nuts because they don't know it can talk to you? So either you can speak to the dog and the dog knows exactly what you're saying, but it can't talk back to you, or the dog can talk to you and everyone's like, that guy's a fucking lunatic or that girl's a fucking lunatic.
I'd rather have to go with I can talk to the dog and then the dog can understand me but not talk
Not
back.
having it talk to you.
Yeah.
I'm going the dog can talk to me and everyone thinks I'm nuts.
Wow, imagine. That was complete opposite of that.
I'd love that. I'd love to be able to know what she's thinking.
Would you?
Yeah, it'd be amazing. Wouldn't you love to know what any dogs think about like 5 things? It's not a complex brain, is it? They're like, I want to go for a walk, I'm hungry, I want to cuddle, I'm going to sleep. It's pretty much it. I need a poo. There's 5 things. That's like all their brain is. I'd love to be like, what's going on in there right now? Why are you this excited?
Yeah, but she probably thinks we're all mad.
Yeah, but I'd get to hear she'd get to tell me what she was thinking. So when she's running around all nuts, and we're all like, what's going on in her head right now to make her act like this?
Yeah.
I'd love to know.
She'd be like, oh my God, I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'd love to be able to hear that happening. You know what I mean? When you're running around, just for her to be like, this is great. I'm so happy. What's going on?
Like, oh my God, new people.
Yeah, like I'd love to hear that. I think it'd be amazing. But if I'm honest with myself, most people think I'm nuts already. So.
Yeah, but if she understands you, then like she'll understand like your feelings and stuff.
But
I know she's quite good at that already, but
yeah, she gives me cuddles when we go to bed, and when I'm sad, she comes over to me. I feel like that's all I need.
Yeah, it's the same
thing. And then if I could hear her go, "This is great, I'm so happy," that would make my day every day. You'd never get sick of that. I never think. You'd just be like, I can hear the dog speak. I can hear it every time they go. I'd love it so much. That was quite a lengthy second section, but to be fair, it was needed because that first section was very short, and I needed to sober up a bit. So that's it. That's it for this week. I enjoyed that. That was fun.
So did I.
Usual social media plugs, isn't it? We've plugged it already, but siblingrivalpodcast@gmail.com if you want to send anything in. Like I say, we're not married to funny flashbacks. I'm more than happy for someone to give us a better name if they've got one, and we'll have a think as well. Because I am adamant that one day I will stop planning this podcast about 20 minutes before we record it. I'll actually think about it through the week. But we'll see. So yeah, siblingrivalpodcast@gmail.com for if you've got any of your own funny stories you want to send in, any would you rathers, any questions, anything like that.
Yeah, because that'll pretty much help us, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
A lot.
And then Twitter Instagram and TikTok is at Sibling Rival Pod. I'm at Tom Fairling _ on Twitter and Instagram.
And I'm at XAHarrisonX on Twitter and Instagram.
Cool. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye. We didn't do the...
Love you.
Love you too.
I don't know why you said we didn't do it. That's still recording.
I know.
So I've stopped the timer, but that doesn't make any difference to what people are going to see.
No.
So love you.
Love you too.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.